Greetings, yogis. Welcome back. Always a pleasure to be here with you doing some yoga. Grab your mat, grab some props if you'd like to use them. I'll give you a few seconds to set it up and I'll see you right back here. Okay, we'll start today in a seated spinal twist, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Extending out both legs to begin with. Let's start with the right knee bending. Step your right foot outside the left leg. Sit tall, you'll twist to the right, wrap the left arm around, drop the right arm behind you, chest up, look to the right, and feel free if you want to close the eyes while you're getting settled. We're going to be here for a few deep breaths. Just kind of letting yourself soften into the stretch without, completely slumping, right? Just find some length. Let the sit bones press down. If you prefer to keep the eyes open, that's of course okay. Just take a moment to scan the body as you twist and see if you can let the breath expand a little bit more. Right, getting some more movement while holding this static stretch. Right, the sit bones press down, keeping you firmly grounded. And yet the breath as it moves creates some space. Let's give ourselves one more deep breath here. Unwrap to center. If you'd like to open the eyes, you can. Take a brief counter stretch to the left. So sit tall, open, one more breath. Come back to center, release the right leg out. We'll go the other way. Bending up at the left knee, step the left foot outside the right leg. Keep the chest up. Wrap the right arm, twist left. And again, if you'd like to close the eyes while you're here, feel free. Keeping the breath expanding, helping you to sit tall. Maybe firing up an ujjayi breath to warm things up a little. Take another full breath. Bringing it back to center, let's take a little counter stretch. Go to your right, eyes open or closed. And come back to center, unwrap the left leg and opening up the eyes if they're not already open. Let's take a seated cross-legged seat. So just fold one ankle in front of the other. Doesn't matter which one. We're going to do both sides. Sukhasana, easy seat. So just as the name suggests, let's let the pose feel as easy as it can, right? So we're softening into the stretch without losing the shape of it, right? Without slumping, without going overboard in the opposite direction. So just try to soften into your seat. Sit tall to begin with. Take an inhale. Then as you exhale, if there's room to do so, walk the hands out. Make sure your sit bones stay on the mat. Let's hold for a deep breath in. Hold for a deep breath out. Walk the hands in. We'll all meet back upright. Changing the feet. Take the opposite ankle in front. Sit tall. Again, just soften into your seat a little bit. Well, then taking an inhale. If there's room to do so, exhale, walk the hands out. Just a little bit. A nice folding stretch. Forward folds are always comforting, grounding. And take one more breath. All right, they're stabilizing poses. And walk the hands back in. We'll meet upright. Let's uncross the ankles, uncross the legs, come onto hands and knees. Let's get right to it into our downward facing dog. Feel free to walk out your feet in the first down dog. Always a great opportunity to kind of check in with the legs, check in with the rest of the body. I always get a sense of how things are really feeling in my body when I do my first down dog. So if you're the same way, right, this is a good opportunity to scan through the body, give things a nice little moving stretch, but not, nothing crazy, just, bending one knee, bending the other. And with a big inhale, lift the heels up. Big exhale, sink the heels down. Come forward to plank pose, lining up the shoulders over the wrist. And with little readjusting, let's return to down dog with the heels sinking toward the mat. Lifting up your right leg high, put a bend in the knee, let the hip roll open, relax the head down, maybe peek under the left arm. If you'd like to go for it, option to roll the right foot at the ankle joint. You can also just point flex your right foot, right? Only movement at the ankle. If you're making circles, make sure you go both ways. And slowing it down. Let's level the hips. Come into pigeon pose. Bring the right knee through. Extend your left leg back. Sit tall. Keep the hips level. If you want to put a block under the right hip or thigh, you can. And sitting tall, you can either hold it right here, or if you want to go for it, if you feel like you can work just a little deeper, walk the hands out. Let your forehead lower as you soften into the stretch. Now, pigeon pose is a yin yoga pose. So you can do this. Yin yoga poses are designed to be done while the body is still cool, which is why it's good for us to do at this point, this early point in our practice. But of course, if you need to dial it back, by all means do that. You're modifying your practice as it makes sense for you today. And let's give it another full breath. Start coming out as you walk the hands back in. Lift the head, the chest. Let's meet back in down dog. Slide the right leg back. Shake it out a little bit. We'll switch the sides. Big inhale, left leg up. Hold as you exhale, bending the knee. Head down. Maybe peek under the right arm to keep your shoulders stable. And if you did it on the first side, make circles with your foot, your left foot at the ankle joint or point flex. Go both ways. And slowing it down. We'll level out the hips and come into pigeon again. Bring the left knee through, the right leg back. Sit tall. Props if you need them. You can remain here, remain upright, enjoying this nice spine lengthening stretch, or walk the hands out. Relax the head down. Keep the hips level. Nice, strong breaths. Taking another full breath. Bringing the hands back in, we'll meet upright. Again, meeting here, chest up. Let's take it back again to our down dog. Stretch it out, shake it off. And this time with your next inhale, bring it forward to plank. You can drop the knees or take chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling back to down dog. And when returning to down dog, soften the knees, look forward, step or hop your feet to the front of the mat. Folding over the legs, your feet slightly separating. Relax the head down and take your hands to opposite elbows, ragdoll pose. And if it feels good to do so, you can nod the head or sway a little. Switch the hands, place the opposite on top. Dropping the arms toward the mat, slowly roll up to stand. As you press down, uncurl, lifting all the way up. Standing nice and tall in Tadasana. Crown of the head up, feet firmly planted down in the ground. Step both feet together, toes and heels touch. Utkatasana. Let your fingertips reach all the way toward the mat. Keep the hips right where they are. Let the arms lift up. Bring the prayer to the heart. Let's twist to the right, hook the left elbow, look over the right shoulder. One breath. Actually, let's take 2 deep breaths. Right, giving it a little more stability here. Come back to center, then fold over the legs, head down. Step the left leg back in a low lunge. Soften the back knee. Look forward. Find your drishti as the legs press down. Lift into high lunge, arms up. You can either maintain a soft bend in the back knee or straighten it out, depending on how the joints and everything feels. The joints and everything feel. Interlace fingers overhead, press both palms up. So the biceps are close to the ears. Keep the hips squared off to the front of the mat, and you're welcome to hold it here, or if things are feeling good to do so, you can take an inhale and exhale, dip the back knee toward the mat. Inhale up, slow, 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 like moving through water. Exhaling, slightly dip. Inhale up. Exhaling, down. Good, inhale, bring it up. Now, keeping the hips again level, press both palms all the way forward. Lean in a little bit to the stretch and gaze toward the backs of the hands. Then let the arms sweep back alongside your body, lift into warrior 3, float the left leg up, keep the heart opening forward, try to level the hips, take 1 more breath. Return to high lunge, let's step the left toes back, sweep the arms up, open up for warrior 2, drop the arms out, look over the right middle finger and hold. Keep the legs strong, press down, inhale, straighten the right leg, turn the right toes in so you're facing the left side of the room. Check in with your feet so the feet are parallel toward each other. Prasarita Padottanasana, you can keep the arms reaching out, or if you like the shoulder opener, you can interlace fingers behind the back as you come forward. Right, so yogi's choice, do what's gonna make sense for you today. I'm gonna take my hands toward the lower legs as I fold. And you can either hold here, if you're not interlacing the fingers behind your back, you can grab onto the lower legs. You can hold onto your big toes in yogi toe lock, or just lower your hands down on the mat, enjoying a nice little stretch. Maybe a big stretch. No locking the knees. Keep a slight micro bend in the knees. And enjoying another full breath. Let's meet with both hands on the mat, lifting the chest, side lunge, skandasana to the right, front of the mat, bend the right knee, stretch the left leg, hold for another deep breath. Pass through center and go left. Side lunge, skandasana to the left, bend the left knee, stretch the right leg. One more deep breath. Let's come into a low lunge at the front of the mat. We'll walk the hands around. When the hips level out, walk your fingertips in front of the right foot. Now, feel free to grab blocks here if you want to use them under the hands. Float the back leg up like you're in a supported warrior 3. Only now we're coming into revolved half moon pose, Parvarita Ardha Chandrasana. Keep the left leg lifting, keep your left toes pointing toward the mat. Lift your right arm up. So the right arm opens, right palm opens to the right. And keep the chest up, and when you can, look to the right. Look up at your fingertips, and let's hold for another full breath. Return to low lunge as the right hand comes down. Walk the fingertips back and touch the left toes on the mat. Lower the left knee. Ardha Hanuman half split. We'll straighten the front leg. Give it a full breath in. Hold for a full breath out. Take your left hand outside the right leg. We'll hold for another full breath. Return your left hand to the left side and bend up at the front knee, meeting in down dog. Press back. Either hold in your down dog, or you can flow through any way that you choose today. When we meet in downward facing dog, we'll give it another full breath. And from your down dog, look forward, step or hop your feet to the front of the mat. Lift the chest, inhale. Exhale, round, feet together. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Sink the hips down, lift the arms. Bring the prayer to the heart. Keep the hips dropping down, twist left, hook the right elbow. Look to the left, keep the chest up, thumbs at heart center. Maybe looking over the left shoulder if you can. One more full breath. Bring it back to center, then fold over the legs, head down. Send the right leg back, low lunge. Soften a bend in the back knee, look forward for balance. Press down, lift all the way through high lunge. You can keep the back knee soft or straighten, completely up to you with how everything feels in the body. There's no right or wrong way there. Just do what makes sense. Interlace fingers overhead, change the grip so the opposite pinky finger sits on top. Press the palms high. You can hold it right here, enjoy a few deep breaths, or inhale. Then exhaling, dip the back knee toward the mat. Inhale up. Exhaling, dip. Inhale. Last time, exhale. Inhaling, come up. Press both palms all the way forward. Keeping the hips level, then sweep the arms back around. Lift into warrior three, the right leg up. Try to level the hips if you can. Strong standing leg, heart forward, fingertips reach back. One more breath. Return again to high lunge, step back, float the arms up. Good, warrior two, drop the arms out. One more breath. Press down, straighten the left leg, turn the left toes in, facing the right side of the room. Check in with your feet, make sure they're parallel, 3 to 4 feet apart. Either keep the arms reaching out or again, interlace fingers behind the back. For the shoulder opener, just change the grip so the opposite pinky finger on top as you come forward. All right, and then just swan dive over the legs. Reaching for the mat, or you can hold on to the lower legs. You can grab onto your toes or any other variation while you're here. Deep breaths, no locking knees. Keep the legs active. Keep the toes resting nice and easy on the mat. All right, just settling into very brief stillness as the breath moves. One more time. We'll meet in the center with hands on the mat, lifting the chest, Skandasana, side lunge to the left, bend the left knee as you stretch the right leg. Nice adductor inner thigh muscle stretch. Let's pass through center as we go to the right, back of the mat. Bend the right knee, stretch the left leg. One more breath. Let's come into our low lunge at the front. Walk the hands around. Pivot the toes. And when your hips level out, pause here. Parvrita Ardha Chandrasana, revolved half moon. Walk your fingertips in front of the left foot. Blocks under the hands if you'd like to use them. Launch the right leg up. Keep your right toes pointing to the mat so the hips stay level, the chest up, the head up. Lift your left arm. Keep lifting up and away from the mat as you press through the standing leg. Looking left, maybe looking up at your fingertips if you can. Keep the breath strong. Return to low lunge as you lower the left hand. Fingertips walk back, touch the right toes down, lower the right knee. Ardha Hanuman, half split. Straighten the left leg. Hold for a full breath in. Full breath out. And take the right hand, reach it outside the left leg and hold. Breathing in. Hold, breathing out. Return the right hand to the right side. Bend the left knee. Let's meet again in downward facing dog. You can shake it off, stretch it out. Option to flow through your plank chaturanga if you like. Another deep breath. And from your downward facing dog, soft bend in the knees. Listen carefully. Walk your hands back to your feet. So fold over the legs back of the mat. Keep your feet about hip width distance. Let's Padangusthasana. Grabbing onto your big toes in yogi toe lock. First two fingers of each hand. This is an inside grip, so grab inside the big toe. Lift the chest, lengthen. Then exhale, drop the head down, elbows out to the sides, sit bones up. And if you're modifying here, just hang over the legs in ragdoll, holding your hands to opposite elbows. Let's take 2 or 3 more deep breaths. And with your next inhale, we'll lift the chest. Exhale, release the toes and bring your hands to the waist. Flat back, press up slow to stand. And stay right where you are with the hands on the waist at the back of the mat. I'm going to turn and face you to do this. This is just going to be a little easier, but you can stay where you are at the back of the mat. We'll do a standing hand to foot pose with the leg extending out to the side. So Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana with the hip opening stretch. Shift your weight first to the left leg. Lift the right knee. Now you can either just take your right hand to the knee and bring your leg out to the side, right? And stand, peek over your left shoulder. If you'd like to go for it, grab onto your big right toe with Yogi Toe Lock. Press through the left leg, stand tall, and when you're ready, bring your right leg out to the right side. All right, just take your time and just look at one point. That's gonna help you balance. Keep the breath steady. Keep the breath fired up. If you're feeling adventurous, extend the left arm out and maybe peek toward the left. One more deep breath. Let's meet back in center, rebending the right knee. Lower it down, arms down, Tadasana. We'll go the other way. Bring the hands back on the waist. Shift your weight to the right leg, lift the left knee. You can take your left hand to the knee, bring the knee out, chest up, look right, maintaining clean alignment the whole time, no matter what variation you're in, or grab your big left toe, press down through the right leg, shoulders stacked over the hips. All right, when you're going for it, bring your left leg out to the left side. All right, finding your drishti and either remaining here or extending the right arm out and peeking toward the right. One more time. Let's meet back in center. Lower the left leg. Relax the arms. Again, back of the mat. Feel free to shake it out briefly. Inhale, sweep the arms around. Exhale, dive over the legs. Down dog, walk the hands out. And then lower the knees. Take a brief child's pose. So separate the knees, toes together. You can keep the arms extended forward with your forehead down or let the arms release back behind you, which is what I'm going to do. Taking another 2 or 3 deep breaths. I'm just letting the energy settle a little bit. And let's come up, hands and knees. Take a seat, sweep the legs around front. Keep both knees bending, lower down onto your back. Keep both knees bending so both feet are flat on the mat. We'll do a little bridge pose today. Now, if you'd like to do an active, like a more active bridge pose, I encourage you to grab a block, right? Block, slide it on the narrow side between the thighs, like above the knees, right? So this way you can not only, strengthen the inner thigh muscles, but it also helps to kind of work the core a little bit, and it generates some heat. So if that is, if that's an attractive option for you, go for it. Start with the arms alongside the body, or just skip the block, that's okay too. feet under the knees, all 10 toes point forward. Press down, lift up, and you're either grabbing the edges of the mat or interlacing fingers behind the back. All right, just kind of roll the shoulders back a little bit. If you're using a block, squeeze the block. You can even pulse the block a little bit, just kind of like these little pulses. Completely up to you. Hips up. And one more full breath. Let's lower back down on the mat, removing your prop if you were using it. Hug the knees in toward the chest. Rock a little side to side if that feels good. Happy baby pose. And while we're here on the back, let's do some shoulder stands, some Sarvangasana. If going upside down today is not in the cards for you, Supta Baddha Konasana, bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees drop out, and either resting the hands on the legs or on the belly. Otherwise, if you'd like to go upside down carefully, right, just press down, lift the legs, and catch the lower back. And if you're feeling good and your Sarvangasana is strong, keep looking up at your feet. Do not turn your head. You can take plow pose, Halasana, extending the legs all the way over, letting your toes reach for the floor. Maybe settling on the floor. This beautiful full back body stretch here. Let's all meet again with the legs upright. And carefully lower down. Take your counter stretch, fish pose, Matsyasana. I'm going to grab a block to prop myself. You can use a block or just do the active variation, legs straight, chest up, head back. If you're using a block like I am or a blanket between the shoulder blades, you'll want to lay back and your shoulder blades will wrap around whatever prop you're using there. That's how you know it's in the correct spot. The crown of the head drops back and the arms relax out by your sides. Let's take 3 to 5 deep breaths. And releasing out. If you're using a prop like I am, bend your knees, roll off of the prop to your side, remove it from behind you, return onto your backs and hug the knees in. Rock a little, happy baby again. When you're ready, just release the legs, extending the legs out on the mat, setting up Shavasana, your final relaxation today. Feel free to support your Shavasana if you like. Roll up a blanket behind your knees or slide a bolster behind the knees. Drop the arms out with both palms turned up so the shoulders more easily melt back on the mat. Close your eyes. Letting go of your Ujjayi breath. Settling back into stillness, just letting go, feeling fully supported by the mat and the ground beneath you. If you have the time, I encourage you to remain as long as you can. Give yourself the proper amount of time to restore and recover before returning to your day. Otherwise, I will leave you here. Thank you once again for sharing your practice with me. Until we meet again on the mat, namaste.